Hello, this is 7-8. We're going to talk about special products of binomials. Now what this section is it's really just kind of some shortcuts when we come to using FOIL. And what I've found in the past is sometimes these shortcuts confuse people, and if they confuse you, you can just stick with FOIL if that makes sense to you. And if these shortcuts make sense, then you're more than welcome to use them to kind of save you some time. So the first one that we're going to talk about is what we call a perfect square trinomial. Now, a perfect square trinomial is when we have a binomial, like a plus b, and we square it. And then we get what we call a perfect square trinomial. And that's in the form a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Now, where do we get this from? We get it from FOIL. Okay? If I have a plus b squared, that's the same as a plus b times a plus b. So if I do first, I get a squared. Outside, I get ab. Inside, I get ab. And last, I get b squared. So then when I combine the ab's in the middle, I get a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Now, this pattern will always happen when I'm squaring a binomial. So if I know what my answer is going to look like, right, it's going to be a trinomial, I can kind of use that to help me kind of shortcut the process a little bit. So here's what it looks like when we're using the shortcut. So let's say we have x plus 3 squared. Now normally we would write that out as x plus 3 times x plus 3. We would FOIL, combine our terms in the middle, and get the answer. Now if I want to use this shortcut, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to identify here what a and b are. And then I'm going to plug it into this form, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So x is a, so x squared is x squared. 2 times a times b plus b, which is 3. 3 squared is 9. So then I'd have x squared plus 6x plus 9. Which again is the exact same answer I would get if I FOILed. I'm just using a little shortcut really. Okay. So if I was doing this one, again I would identify what a and b are. So a squared would be 4s squared, which would be 16s squared. 2 times a times b. And then b squared would be 9t squared. So then I would get 16s squared plus 2 times 4 times 3, so that's 24st plus 9t squared. Okay, and I could even maybe skip this first step here where I do 2a times b, where I write it all out. If I can do that in my head, I could just get straight to the answer there. One more example. So again, identify this is a, this is b. So a squared is 25 plus 2 times a times b plus m squared squared, which is m to the 4th. So then I would have 25 plus 10m squared plus m to the 4th. Okay? Now we can do the same thing when we have a minus b. Okay? A minus b, hold on, I got some extra stuff in here. A minus b squared is also a perfect square trinomial. And if we FOIL that, we're going to get a squared minus ab plus b squared. So that gives me a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Okay? So, again, I can use the same shortcut. The difference is that instead of having plus 2ab, I have minus 2ab. So again, if I go and do some examples here, it's the exact same process. This is a, this is b. So x squared is x squared minus 2 times a times b plus b squared, which is 36. So that would be x squared minus 12x plus 36. Okay? Again, this is a, this is b. So a squared would be 16m squared minus 2 times 4m times 10, and then plus b squared, which would be 100. So that would give me 16m squared minus 80m plus 100. And one more example here of this pattern. This is a, this is b. I would get a squared, so that's 4x squared minus 2 times 2x times 5y plus 5y squared, which is 25y squared. So then I'd have 4x squared minus, this is 20xy plus 25y squared. Okay, so it works when we have a minus sign as well. Now the last shortcut we want to talk about, and this is probably the one that I use the most, because it actually is a shortcut, where the other one, you know, it's about the same amount of work. When I do a plus b times a minus b, this is going to give us a binomial, which we call a squared minus b squared, and that is called the difference of two squares. Now, real quick here, just if I were to FOIL these, okay, I just want to prove this, how we get from here to there. So if I FOIL these, I get a squared for my first terms, minus ab on the outside terms, plus ab on the inside terms, and minus b squared on the last terms. You can see what happens here with the middle terms. I have minus ab plus ab. So they actually cancel each other out. And that's how we end up with this difference of two squares, a squared minus b squared. So the way that we can use this shortcut is when I see something like this, where I have the exact same binomial, just a plus and a minus that are different, instead of having to do the entire FOIL process, I can say, yep, that's going to be the difference of two squares. So I can take a, which is x, and b, which is 4, and a squared is x squared, and 4 squared is 16. I know my answer is going to be x squared minus 16. If we look at another one here, again, I need to identify what's a, what's b. So if this is a and this is b, again, I would see, alright, that's going to be difference of two squares, because I got plus and minus and they're the same binomial. So then a squared would be p to the 4th, and b squared would be 64q squared. And just one more. And again, I just want to emphasize that it has to be the exact same binomial with a plus and a minus. Okay, I can't just see a plus and a minus and do this. It has to be the exact same binomial. So again, I see that it's the same binomial with a plus and a minus. So I identify a and b. A squared is 100, and b squared is b squared in this one. Okay, so that's what we call the difference of two squares. And like I said, these are all just kind of shortcuts and patterns that we can recognize to help save us some work. And like I said before, if that confuses you and you understand FOIL, you'll get the same answer using FOIL. Okay? It'll just take you a little longer. So if you like the shortcuts, use them. If you don't like them, then just keep with your FOIL, and like I said, you'll get to the same place. And that's it for 7-8, and that's actually the end of chapter 7. So we'll be talking about this tomorrow and getting ready for your test next week. Thanks. See you tomorrow.